Surprise, surprise, surprise. Dana White's buddy, Joe Rogan, is he supports Olympic athletes getting paid their fair share. But with UFC fighters, he literally weasels out of the question, redirects the answer to somewhere else. Like, dude, you know, Joe Rogan, he always plays dumb with the UFC fighter pay. He plays dumb. He's Dana White's friend. Like, he's not gonna tell the truth and call out Dana White because Dana White's his friend. So he can't criticize the UFC because he works for the UFC. But bro, you're bigger than the UFC at this point. You have a fucking huge podcast, the biggest podcast in America, possibly the biggest podcast in the world. Millions of people view you every day. You get millions of views in every single video, but you don't want to use your platform to call out injustice and to fight for fighter pay. Why? I don't understand. I get it, actually. He works for the UFC, so obviously he's going to be biased. But come on, man, you have such a big platform and you don't even want to use that platform for any good. Like, this is what he said. He said, all the winners of the gold medals, all those people that are generating insane amounts of wealth for the Olympics, they should get a giant piece of that. Agree. I agree with you. They should get a giant piece of that. But why don't you have the same mentality when it comes to fighter pay? Why don't you have the same mentality when it comes to fighter pay, Joe Rogan? I don't get that. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It really doesn't make a lot of sense to me, Joe. You should be more you should be more critical of the UFC and tell them to pay fighters more, man. Because these guys are putting their lives on the line for us. They're literally putting their lives on the line for us. The hypocrisy is very damning here. I mean, we know why. It's because he's working for Dana. We know, like, speaking about the huge amount of money that the event generates, the networks are making it and the IOC is making it. And all these other people are making it. And the athletes, the whole reason people are tuning in, they get nothing. It's insane. It's a disgusting, corrupt system. Okay. Now, contrast that with his views on fighter pay with the UFC. Now, I support his view on the Olympics. The networks are making it. Literally replace those words with the UFC. The UFC are making it, and the UFC and Dana is making it, and all these other people are making it, and the fighters, the whole reason people are tuning in, they get nothing. It's insane. It's a disgusting, corrupt system. This is disgusting, dude. The UFC has to be profitable. In order to be sold to someone like WME, it has to be profitable. In order for it to be profitable, in order for it to be valuable, it has to be profitable. In order for it to be something they can promote and get behind and make it as big as if they made it, there has to be some sort of pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for these people. What about the fighters, dude? What about the fucking fighters that risk their lives getting punched in the head? They could possibly die. They get paid 20 to show, 20 to win. And then a 75K win bonus that is rare, very rare. It's a bonus. You might not get fight of the night. Only a few people can get fight of the night. Not everybody gets fight of the night. You know? That's well known. Like, not everybody's gonna get fight of the night. Not everybody's gonna make 70. That's a bonus. Anyways, let's look at this. Let's look at the video. Let's watch it. Let's watch it, dude. Okay, I'm not watching that one. Where the fuck is it, dude? Let me see. Should be able to find it. Fucking annoying that it's not here. Let's see. Okay, well, I mean, all right. Let's do this. Maybe we'll find it.
Disgusting, because that.
Just continuing Chrome, dude. Fuck off.
First of all, I think the Olympics are disgusting because that lady should be getting paid millions of dollars. All of them should be getting paid millions of dollars. Like I said, I'm always for fighters getting paid more money, but I don't know if that would ever work. All the winners of the gold medals, all those people that are generating insane amounts of wealth for the Olympics, they should get a giant piece of that.
The case of fighter pay, the debate is over. It is settled. There is no argument of court documents to this effect. They get paid roughly 18 to 20% by the UFC year over year as a more or less fixed position.
They're responsible for the reason why people are watching the Olympics. Right. No one's watching the Olympics because it's the Olympics. They're watching the Olympics because you see the best athletes on the world.
And he was like, he was asking for Deontay Wilder money. Yeah, he should.
So, I agree, but there's no crowds. The problem with asking for Deontay Wilder money when
there's no crowds in the Olympics either, bro. Let's.
There's not a stadium. Obviously, you realize that stadiums bring in a significant amount of revenue. It's a big deal.
Right.
I mean, it's millions and millions and millions of dollars for a fucking. If you're John Jones, you sell out the T-Mobile Arena. That is a fuckload of money.
Yeah, but John doesn't see a cut of that.
He doesn't see a cut of that, but it makes sense that they pay him more because of that.
So here's what I would be sympathetic to the argument if the problem was the song was the same pre-pandemic as it was during the pandemic.
Right? Yeah. You see, the best athlete doesn't exist in boxing.
Right.
And they're getting nothing. They're getting zero. And the whole world's watching. But it also, the UFC has to be profitable. In order to be sold to someone like WME, it has to be valuable. In order for it to be valuable, it has to be profitable. In order for it to be something that they can promote and get behind and make it as big as they've made it, there has to be some sort of pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for these people. And they're selling crazy advertisement, and that money's being generated, and the networks are making it, and the IOC is making it, and all these other people are making it, and the athletes, the whole reason people are tuning in, they get nothing.
If you're a fighter, do you get half of the UFC's money from ESPN? Do you get, what kind of cut do you get from pay-per-view? And how much leverage do you have to negotiate that? That is all that matters anymore, and we know what the documents say.
It's insane. It's a disgusting, corrupt...
You heard it there, folks. Joe Rogan said it himself. He doesn't think the fighters deserve it, basically. Doesn't think the fighters deserve it. And this guy has been covering the sport for how long? He's been covering it since its inception, right? Since the first UFC event, maybe. I think UFC 1. Since its inception, he has been covering the sport. And he's a hypocrite. He wants the Olympics to get paid, but he doesn't want the UFC fighters to get paid. What a fucking hypocrite. I mean, I expected it, though. Like, he works for the UFC, but even if you work for someone, why can't you have integrity, man? Like, that's it's pretty bad. No integrity, Joe. Gotta have more integrity, man. That's. Think about the platform that he has. Let's look at these comments here. Let's read the comments here. Where is it again? Okay, here it is. Just gonna go back. Man, I really don't know what to say. Dude, like, it's insane. I don't understand. Like, dude, like you're like one of the biggest podcasts in the world, but you still don't respect the fighters. Man, it's crazy. Well, of course he does. I haven't listened to Joe in a while. Never really liked him as a personality. This is definitely one of his most hypocritical points. The Olympics are disgusting. Yeah, Joe, and the UFC is squeaky clean. Dana White is always right. Dana's a scumbag. He doesn't pay his fighters anything. Like, 18% of the revenue, that's so low. I mean, Worst thing about Rogan is that whenever he's wrong and gets called out, he goes, I'm just an idiot saying things. Fuck you. Take responsibility over your actions and the platform that you have. I get that it's hard to put out the amount of content he does and stay consistent or informed over the subject, but do not hide behind comedian shtick every time you fuck up. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to like. The man has millions of followers, but I don't think he cares at this point. Like, such a big following. He can't be canceled at this point. Like, he's too big to be canceled. He's too big to be canceled at this point. But the best we can do is stop watching his show and then he's going to take notice. But sad to say, most people won't do that because they like watching his podcast. I mean, he has a lot of like informative guests on there. It's not just, we don't watch for Joe Rogan. We watch because we like the people that he brings onto the show. Nobody watches Joe Rogan for Joe Rogan. Because if they did, then they wouldn't watch his videos because he only puts on different guests and different people. But yeah, tell me what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Tell me what you guys think about Joe Rogan's hypocrisy. Olympic athletes getting paid more, but UFC fighters should get paid nothing. Tell me what you guys think about.